Lions and aspens, our cute and friendly companions walking along the outskirts of our streets. But behind these adorable faces lie a much bigger problem for Barangay Loyola Heights in Quezon City, a densely populated urban barangay housing over 150 stray cats in Ateneo de Manila University alone. It is important to note that stray pet population in the barangay is limited, not counting stray pets outside campuses and in local residential areas.
Moreover, with over 17,356 people and home to populated universities such as UP and ADMU, public health and environmental damage is at risk with the existence of our stray pets. In particular, health risk includes further spreading of zoonotic diseases such as rabies, toxoplasmosis, and cat scratch fevers. In fact, it was reported that 71% of rabies cases resulted from dog bites, with the remainder attributed to cats. Additionally, exposure to scattered feces, urine, and blood of our strays is not only harmful to human health, but can negatively affect environmental conditions of citizens in Barangay Loyola Heights.
With all of these mentioned, it can be said that stray animals have indeed left a negative impression in our community. However, it is now time for these impressions to be debunked. Barangay North to South believes that such risks are not entirely the fault of strays themselves, and as humans with autonomy, we must take action. But how?
Well, there are two general strategies on how we can combat the risk of stray animals: animal control and welfare. But which one's better? Are we simply going to put a band-aid on a problem? Or can we create long-lasting change for the benefit of both humans and animals in Barangay Loyola Heights?
Firstly, let's start with animal control. According to the Merriam-Webster's dictionary, animal control is an office or department responsible for enforcing ordinances relating to the control, impoundment, and disposition of animals. In the Philippines, animal control is handled publicly, mostly at the government level.
What does animal control end up consisting of down to the practical level? Presented in legislation, it is mandatory for all cities and first-class municipalities to have government-handled animal pounds. And by order of the government, all stray animals are to be displaced and impounded in said facilities. If the stray animal is not collected within 3 days by its original owner, then it will be put up for adoption. If the stray animal is still not adopted within an undisclosed amount of time, then personnel are legally obligated to euthanize said animal. It is worth noting, however, that the euthanasia methods are humane and painless, and can only be done under these following conditions.
Now, going over how this favors animal control. The strongest argument going for animal control is that impoundment, followed by euthanasia, is the most cost-effective animal population control method. This is because any funds spent on extensive treatment, spaying or neutering, and continued impoundment or sheltering would require additional tax funding from the public.
Furthermore, the second advantage is that risks associated with stray animal populations are solved through direct animal control intervention. Problems like the transmission of zoonotic diseases, road traffic accidents, bike accidents, among other health concerns.
But on the contrary, many NGOs argue that even euthanasia is unethical. As such, they propose alternative no-kill methods, all under a category called animal welfare.
But what is animal welfare? As defined in the Animal Welfare Act of 1998 and its amendments, refers to the physical and mental welfare of animals. This emphasizes the physical and mental well-being of animals, advocating for humane treatment that's free from cruelty, neglect, and exploitation. This includes ensuring animals are free from fear and distress, and promoting behaviors that are natural for them and addresses proper pre and post treatment of diseases.
Core activities in animal welfare encompass spaying and neutering programs for population control, rescue and rehabilitation of abandoned or abused animals, educational campaigns on responsible pet ownership, and adoption programs for rehoming strays. Local organizations such as the Philippine Animal Welfare Society and Cara Welfare Philippines are just some of the prime examples that operate these kinds of programs.
As such, animal welfare is much more efficient and effective than animal control as it addresses not only the symptoms of animal overpopulation and neglect, but also the root causes. For example, in Metro Manila, organizations like PAWS and Happy Animals Club demonstrated that spay and neuter programs can really work to regulate stray populations. To date, in 2019, it is projected that some of the 12 million stray cats and dogs are still roaming in the Philippines. Such organizations ensure that there are fewer reproduction of stray animals in urban districts through spaying and neutering programs and educational campaigns on responsible pet ownership.
Programs within animal welfare are efficient alternatives to the traditional methods of animal control that will not only eliminate the risk but alleviate awareness and responsibility, which can slow down the cycle of abandoning animals. While all of these extensive efforts for animal care can be costly, partnerships with NGOs, fundraising, and support from the grassroots communities can make the strategy more possible.
Animal welfare is also a more humane and sustainable way of handling animals compared to the traditional animal control. With this in line, by focusing on education, spaying, and neutering responsible pet ownership, active participation of the citizens in Barangay, Loyola Heights can be further encouraged and may actually help to make their environments healthier, not only for animals but also for the people.
As we've seen, animal welfare doesn't just stop at addressing the problem, it seeks to prevent it from recurring. By tackling the root issues such as irresponsible pet ownership and uncontrolled breeding, animal welfare paves the way for a more humane, sustainable future for both animals and humans.
That said, Barangay North to South believes in building that future. We envision a community where strays are not feared or forgotten, but cared for with compassion. By investing in animal welfare, we are not just protecting animals, we are ensuring the health, safety, and harmony of our entire barangay. Programs like spaying, neutering, and educational outreach may seem like a costly investment, but the long-term rewards far outweigh the costs.
Together, we can transform Barangay Loyola Heights into a model of compassion, where every stray has a chance at a better life.
A barangay with active participation from its local communities, taking a shift from control to care, and creating a better environment for ourselves and our furry friends.